Hi, my name is Erica, and today I am going to review the Kanjo Acupressure Mat and Pillow Set. I got it for Christmas, so I've been using it for about 7-8 months, and I will say I'm loving it, but I want to talk about what it is, why an acupressure mat, how it can be useful for you physically, mentally, and the pros and cons I'm seeing with this mat. So let's dive in. Today I am reviewing the Kanjo Acupressure Mat. So who am I? Why am I talking about this? My name is Erica. I am an empowerment alchemist. I am a podcaster, and I do have a medical background where I love to share things on my podcast all the time of different products I'm loving. So I thought, why not do a full review on one of the products that has been most used in my rotation recently for self-care and for healing. I have been using the Kanjo Acupressure Mat and Pillow Set for about 7.5 months now. I got it for Christmas this past year in 2022, and I use it daily, if not twice a day. So I am going to give you my honest review and opinion on the mat. So what is acupressure? Acupressure is an ancient form of massage that is used in traditional Chinese medicine. You probably have heard of acupuncture, and it's similar. So acupuncture dates back to 100 BC, where sharpened stones were used by Chinese practitioners to treat certain ailments by hitting these different acupuncture and acupressure points throughout the body. So the goal of acupuncture and acupressure is to stimulate qi, also known as life energy, throughout the body. And the thought process is that we need this constant flow of qi and this consistent flow of qi to help maintain a healthy lifestyle and healthy balance within the body. If you have a blockage of qi in your body, it can cause health ailments based on Chinese medicine traditions. So the flow of qi is essential for your health. And so the thought process is that by using different acupuncture points, acupressure points, you are able to help stimulate that flow and release any potential blockages. If you are familiar with my channel, you know that I love the chakra system. I'm very into the chakras, and I believe that you can have blocked chakras, and I think this is very similar. I think that energy gets stuck in the body often. We have been known to see that trauma specifically can be stuck in the body, and you can have physical ailments, and that's why I think that acupressure is an amazing modality for healing. So now we know what acupuncture is, acupressure is. What is the point? What are the benefits? So it has been shown to help reduce pain, to reduce nausea, vomiting, stress, anxiety. It has helped to improve sleep and to decrease insomnia. And research has actually shown that it can help cancer patients reduce their fatigue and nausea as well. So there isn't a ton of research out there, but those are a lot of the benefits that people will find when they use acupuncture or acupressure. And so why did the Kanjo company make this mat? So they wanted it to be a simple and at-home solution that you can do every single day, and it's based off the Eastern methodologies of acupuncture, and it helps basically make this traditional system a more modern treatment that you can use in your everyday life. And what I do really like about this mat specifically is it is FSA and HSA available. So if you have that with your insurance plan, you could potentially use your FSA or HSA to help get you a mat. And so what they say on the website, this is quoted from them, again, I'll put the links below. They say it can help with back and neck pain relief, shoulder pain relief, fibromyalgia and sciatica pain relief, improve circulation, headaches, migraines, improve sleep, uplifted spirits, and overall stress reduction. So now we have all the details of what the mat is, why they made it. Now let me tell you about my experience using the Kanjo mat. Like I said earlier, I have had it since Christmas of 2022, so I've been using it every single day, if not twice a day, since then, pretty strictly. The only times I haven't really used it is maybe when I'm on vacation or something like that. So a little bit about me. Why did I even want to get the mat? So first, I have a best friend who's very into holistic wellness and health, and she shared that she got one and absolutely loved it, that it was helping with her back pain, helping with her neck pain, and just helping reduce stress. And so I personally, without getting into too many details, I have had a very stressful handful of years. I've had a lot of trauma in the last couple of years, and I do have diagnosed PTSD and CPTSD that I have been working through. So whenever I can add an additional modality that is going to help regulate my nervous system, I am highly interested. So when I got the mat for Christmas, I was very, very excited. So like I said, I have trauma. I also have a history of headaches as well as autoimmune issues. And I have noticed that genuinely this mat has helped with every single thing. So how do I use it in my everyday life? I'm a big morning routine person, so I tend to incorporate it into my morning routine most days, if not every single day. And so what I do, I love to meditate. I will meditate on the mat. So I like to do this thing called habit stacking, where you take a couple different habits and you do them at the same time. So what I've started to do is lay on the acupressure mat while I meditate, and I do use crystals to help with whatever the goal of my meditation is that morning. And I've really noticed that when I do that, it will set my mood for the day so well. I've noticed that it has helped reduce pain in my neck, it has helped reduce headaches, and even in my meditation, it just feels like such a deeper and more profound experience. So I've also been known to use it like midday. I work from home, so I've noticed if I'm really stressed or if something's going on, or like I mentioned, I have PTSD. So if I have some sort of trigger or my nervous system is hyperactive that day, I will notice literally just laying on the mat for 5 minutes, it's like a mental reset. I can't explain it, but it just feels like my nervous system is resetting. It has been a massive benefit to my life. I also mentioned I have some autoimmune issues, and one thing I really noticed is how it can actually help decrease bloating. That might sound crazy. So the main way that I use this mat, like I said, is in the morning, but I also will use it in the evening after eating sometimes. And I've actually started to do it every other day, probably, or every couple days before bed. So I either lay on it on my back, and that can help get my body and my mind prepared for bed because it just winds me down. Like I said, it's known to help reduce stress, and so I've noticed that it helps my brain to just shut off. But if I've noticed that I maybe ate something I shouldn't have and I'm feeling really bloated, or my stomach is agitated, or even if I'm in my menstrual cycle and I'm having cramping or some abdominal pain, I've noticed that if I lay on the mat on my stomach, I have decreased pain, I have decreased bloating. I will literally lay on the mat looking pretty bloated, and I'll get off the mat with a significant difference. And again, I can't explain it. I did look up the different meridians. I did some research. One time I was just like on the mat, I pulled up Google. I was like, why am I experiencing this? And I did see that there is apparently a meridian point. I believe it's about 3 to 6 inches below the navel. And so I do lay it on the lower half of my abdomen. And apparently that can help with digestion. So that's just been my personal experience. I've noticed a massive difference with it. It's kind of crazy. And when I use the mat, just full disclosure, I will use the mat either in my underwear or nude, because you want to have that skin contact. So in the video, I did show myself laying on the mat in my clothes, but obviously that's because it's YouTube. Okay, I'm not going to be in my undies. But anywho, that is how I use it. I really enjoy it. And honestly, most days I will use it twice a day. It has been an amazing addition to my life. Now that you know all the reasons I love the mat, let's talk some of the pros and cons. Let's get very specific here. So my first pro is going to be, I think it's pretty affordable. It's about $80 if I'm remembering. I'll put the exact amount in here, but the one I have is about $80, which I think is affordable. I know for some people that may be a lot, but in my mind, another pro is it's a one-time payment. If you are trying to go to an acupuncturist, especially if insurance didn't cover it, which from my experience, insurance doesn't seem to cover that very often, it's a one-time payment versus you are paying for every single acupuncture visit. So I think that makes it a more affordable option for people, and especially if you want to do it regularly. Also, again, that one-time payment versus you're paying every single time you want to get an acupuncturist. The next thing is it's very easy to store. It's not very big. It's easy to store. It comes with a bag that you could take for travel, that you could put in a closet. Like I just put it in a little corner of my bedroom. It does not take up much room. I barely notice it. Also, my last pro is that it works. I have had amazing experiences with it. Like I've said, I love it. I would highly recommend it. It's a great gift for people. And especially if you're someone with trauma, if you're someone with pain, if you feel like you have an overregulated nervous system, you struggle with anxiety, I think it can be extremely beneficial. But I've also noticed, say I have a really hard workout and I'm like crushing the gym, if I'm really sore, it helps decrease soreness. You know, my boyfriend, he has a pretty physically demanding job and he uses it a lot for his back and he loves it. So there are so many different ways that you can use the mat and it works pretty well. So what are some cons? I don't have many, but I have a couple. So the first one is it's pretty painful to first use it and it does take time to get used to it. So I first started with my clothes on. Like I said, I typically use the mat in my underwear or nude, but I did first start with a light shirt on or like thin fabric clothes on because it's literally plastic spikes digging into your skin, right? That's not the most comfortable. You get used to it, okay, but it does take some time to get used to. And they recommend that you start with about 5 minutes and then gradually work your way up. You know, I will use it anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. It really just depends on the goal and the time I have available. But I've noticed even just laying on it for 5 minutes, I've noticed a benefit. So just know that it's kind of painful at first. It takes time to get used to. And the other con I'll say, so of course it's this affordable option that's really nice, but the thing is it is general. So you're not getting those specific points that you may want to target if you were going to see an acupuncturist or an acupressure massage therapist or something, right? So it's going to be a lot more general. It's going to be harder to nitpick a certain issue. The one thing I would say though is if you're really looking for neck pain, I've noticed it really hits the neck very well. It hits the occiput really well, and I have some manual therapy experience from my time in athletic training, and I would do occiput releases often, and I feel like, especially if you allow your neck to lay back on the pillow, you can really get a very similar release. Now, it's not going to be as deep, but I've noticed that the decrease in pain is very beneficial, but it is more general, okay? So that's something to keep in mind, but honestly, though, that's my only con. I have had an amazing experience with this mat. It's why I wanted to share it. It's why I wanted to talk about it. I think that it is a great affordable option for you if you want to add something different to your routine. And like I said, you can do a lot of things while on it. If you're on your stomach, you can read, you can be on your phone, you can meditate. I do sometimes stand on it, not super often, but sometimes I will stand on the mat, and I've noticed that that helps with like plantar fasciitis or something along those lines. So there's so many different ways, and actually the mat will come with a little sheet of different ways you can use it. There's different YouTube videos showing you how to use it. So if you are looking to add something to your routine, if you've seen these acupressure mats, or maybe you've wanted to go to an acupuncturist but it's just not in your budget or you don't have the time, this is an amazing substitute. I really think it can benefit so many different people, and I highly recommend it. If you have any more questions on the mat, my experience, please put them in the comments. I will do my best to get to all your questions and let you know how it's worked for me. As well as next week, we are going to talk about the Skinny Confidential Ice Roller. This is a product I've been using again for about 8 months, and I cannot wait to share my experience with you guys on it. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for this review, and I will see you guys next time. Have a great day. Bye.